Hey, 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 welcome back to another RSG stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, part of the RSG crew. Welcome everybody to the lunch stream. What is the lunch stream, you ask? Well, that's where we just hang out with you good folks for the next hour, bring you quality entertainment, and I brought along the crew to help me along with that. So let's introduce them all. We've got the one and only Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, here with us.
Good afternoon.
We've got Grim the Mechanic.
Wasabi.
We have the soulless one, Sanely Red.
Hello there.
And, of course, the cheese eater himself from across the pond, Mike Hunt.
I'm the Batman.
No, that's not even how you do it. It's not the Batman. It's, I'm Batman. The Batman. God. Just ruin everything, Mike. I swear. So if you have questions, go, wait, what is that? Is that sort? No, that's dancing. No, we're not. Oh God,
it's dancing.
No, Jesus, no, we're not starting off like this. Mike, get your tea and get the hell out of there.
Will do.
All right.
I'm doing.
All right, that's your mission. If you choose to accept it. But yeah, if you have questions, go ahead and get them in there. Sanely will scoop them up. He's monitoring chat. Glad to see you guys all here on a hump day. Remember, tonight we've got our RSG Wednesday night stream, the longest running live stream in the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes world. And we will be covering all the latest and greatest topics and news of note and breaking it down and tell you a little bit of what it all means. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and like the channel. It really helps the channel grow, helps us to maintain what we're doing here, to keep bringing you the quality entertainment that you guys like. If you'd like to support us in other ways, there is the Patreon account that we have set up that you can use to support us directly. Did I miss anything, Dr. Finn?
Just an update about the Patreon before the live stream today. The Patreon will be updated with all the extra tiers and stuff. So I'm finishing up my work meetings and then getting all of the information in there. So
well,
be on the lookout.
Be in the lookout indeed. So we have a roster review today, Dr. Finn. Why don't you tell us who it is?
It is Spaceman Tim.
Hey, it's Spaceman Tim.
Yes. So Titan Tim 3, aka what's his Tim in the chat. He's in the chat. Tim Bedard is in the chat. But we know him as Spaceman Tim because he messaged us from a million miles in the sky. Oh. So obviously he was in space. So Spaceman Tim. And what we are looking for is, he said he's mostly concerned about making sure he's on a good path forward with his roster. So he just wants us to look at his roster as a whole, see if there's any kind of holes in there. He's trying to figure out what his next Zeta and farm should be. He's currently farming Shore, Haldo, Towson, Death Trooper, and Scion. And then mods. He wants us to look at mods. And then he said he also, and this was just a nice note that he put in there, he said he modded his Han to be high offense, like I had mentioned in one of my videos, and he said we can take a look at it because it works awesome. So thank you for that, Tim.
Looks like he's running the JTR team on offense. He is averaging rank 50. I don't know if he's looking to change his PvP team. I didn't hear that, so we'll just look at his roster.
He does have a Gear 12 EP, only needs the Zedon leadership.
Well, there you go.
And a Gear 12 Vader.
Let's see.
And an 11 Nihilus.
he's in, we forgot to shout out his guild, Ventress Carnival. So shout out to them.
And a 6-star Gear 10 Scion.
And since he's in Ventress Carnival, he does have a Gear 12 Asajj Ventress.
Oh, my goodness. So, well, let's look at his Sith. I just want to look at his Sith first. Let's see what we got. Yes. So, if we can get old Scion to Gear 11, you can start using him in your arena, which I highly suggest if you're not doing that already. Let's see. Palpatine Nihilus. Don't know where he is on Treya. Was that mentioned anywhere?
No, he did not mention. So if you can, let us know how your guild is doing with regards to heroic Sith, Spaceman Tim. And then if you are doing heroic Sith, where you are in particular with your Darth Treya form.
Right.
But in terms of your next Zeta, right? Zeta on Emperor Palpatine lead gives you a viable team in Arena. It also gives you a viable team for Territory Wars.
Yeah.
It really only needs the one Zeta on Emperor Palpatine. All the other ones make it just a lot better. For example, the Scion unique makes it a lot better. Nihilus is a little bit
Scion
questionable right now, but Scion you need. And then Vader's unique you don't really need. Palpatine's unique you really don't need. So mainly it's Scion and Emperor Palpatine, and then Nihilus, depending on what you're facing in Arena, sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. It's always been like that. I remember when Nihilus first came out, Grande intentionally didn't Zeta Nihilus because the debuff actually made it so Rex used his turn meter on AI, and that gave everybody turn meter and whatnot, so he was annoyed by that and didn't want to give debuff. So Nihilus has always been one of those little questionable uniques.
Yeah, he says they are not currently doing heroic, but they're growing toward it. So, okay.
So we'll look at your heroic Sith teams too.
Yeah, so if you're looking at it, I mean, you could run the Palpatine team. You need some Zetas before you do, but you could easily do, I mean, any combination. Palpatine with Vader, Nihilus, Scion, and Thrawn, or you could go some other route, but you've definitely got a lot of the components there to do it. So let's look at your other teams.
Yeah, and even if he decides to not use the EP Sith team for Arena, it's still one of the better teams in Territory Wars.
Yep. All right, so let's look at his Night Sisters first. Of course, we have Asajj, who is gear 12. Talzin's gear 11, only 6 stars, so it needs some work there. Talia is only gear 8. Doc is only gear 8. Night Sister Zombie's 5 stars, so I think that was one of the ones he said he was farming, if I'm not mistaken, Finn.
He did say zombie.
Yeah.
He said he didn't. So it was Shore Trooper, Haldo, Talzin, Death Trooper, and Scion. No zombie on the list. He has I mean, you should work on Zombie, because Zombie really helps all of the Night Sister teams. Now, for Heroic Sith, you have a weak Initiate, which is fine. You can use the weak Initiate team and just kind of roll with that. But yeah, you do want to work on Zombie. So hopefully you're farming her as well. I would probably stop Haldo. I like Haldo. She's a single hard node farm. I'm farming her right now, and part of it is because I think there's a Resistance capital ship coming somewhere down the line, and she's going to be the captain of it, but that's just more of a speculation on my part. That being said, she's not a crucial character, and if you have a character, and I see that you have her at 6 stars, so if you're almost done, then go ahead and finish her. But if you're still like 0 out of 100, I would probably start working on Zombie instead, so you can get your Zombie done, because she's going to be a lot more useful to you than it could be a lot more useful to you than Haldo is going to be.
Yes. All right, let's see here. So that's Night Sisters, that's Sith. Let's look at First Order. All 7 stars. Execution is only 3 stars. Gear 7. It's a team you can run if you decide to do it. It just looks like you just need gear on them, so that is a possibility that you could run. Let's look at somebody else. Let's look at his troopers. Imperial Troopers. Where are you at, his Imperial Troopers? Let's see. Veers is 11. Stark is 9. Just not, yeah, we need some work on the troopers. Death Trooper, you need to get to what you said you're farming, which is good. You need to get him up. I heard you're working on Shore. That's fine as well. Trooper team, because you can take some of the parts and move them. Magma's gear 7, 7 stars. Stormtroopers 7 stars and gear 8. So looks like another team that could use gear. So really, we just need to pick a focus. You've got your farm. Looks like the characters that you're farming on lockdown, but we need to pick a team, either First Order, troopers, and gear them up and start getting them all to gear 11. You know, whether you go First Order first and then the troopers, or you do troopers and then First Order, or you go Night Sisters. I don't care which team it is, but we need to pick one and focus on that with the gear and stuff. And I'll let you kind of, Tim, decide which one you want to do, because they're all viable in different areas. I would say work on the Night Sisters first. but you
especially with what he just said in chat.
Sure.
I would definitely say Night Sister. So here's why.
Yeah.
So he said his arena shard right now is a lot of Bastila leads, so that's why he swapped to Jedi Training Rey in order to battle them, because I think he might have been running Emperor Palpatine lead. Now, here's the thing: Night Sisters, awesome team in order to beat Bastila leads. And I'll shout out Ouchie because she's the one that posted on. So I was using General Kenobi lead, and I still do. I use the GK Bears combo in order to beat Bastila sometimes. I've been playing around with both of them just because they're kind of fun to switch. But Night Sisters, really good team to have. And the reason is Night Sister Zombie. Weirdly enough, her basic goes through the tenacity.
Right.
So you attack with her basic and you put tenacity down. That basically counters every single tenacity buff that Bastila is giving. And you don't really need to do much with Zombie. All you need to do is hit somebody with a basic. So you hit Kenobi, because usually the team is Bastila, Ezra, Hermit Yoda, Grandmaster Yoda, and Kenobi. So you can just attack Kenobi, and then you put the debuff on him, and then you just start trying to get as many plagues on Kenobi as you can. And Kenobi's, because he's so tanky, he can take up to it. I've had 11 stack on General Kenobi. And the plagues just start spreading to all of the Jedi. The plagues when they start spreading, they aren't affected by the tenacity. They just start spreading regardless of it. So once you land one plague, all hell starts breaking loose on that Jedi team. And so you try to stack as many as you can on Grandmaster Yoda. Zombie is the key. And you don't even need a 7-star zombie. You can do it with your 5-star zombie. So if you start working on your Night Sisters, it looks like your Asajj is pretty good. Your Talzin is gear 11, and she's 6 stars, so that's pretty much as high as you can get. You wouldn't run Talia. You would run Daka as your other character. So you'd want to work on your Daka. She would be the next one that I would focus on. And then Zombie and Kenobi. And I saw your Kenobi. I think your Kenobi. Yeah, your Kenobi is 6-star gear 11. So he's fine. So Talzin lead, Asajj, Daka, Zombie, and General Kenobi. And the whole premise is nothing more than getting plagues on the opposing Kenobi and just having it spread to the Jedi team. The Bastila teams should be of no issue to you anymore. Jedi Training Rey works, but she's a little bit more
RNG for it.
Yeah, because you have to land the exposes, right? So there's always that RNG. Plus you have to go through the Foresight, and her Grandmaster Yoda is putting up Foresight all the freaking time. And there's no, depending on what team what was his team? Does he have a Mass Dispel? No. So he's not using somebody with a Mass Dispel. So you're kind of fracturing somebody with Thrawn probably, and then just trying to focus them down, right? So it's going to be a little bit more RNG dependent. And Night Sisters are so valuable in so many different phases of this game, regardless of what the change is going to be with Zombie, with the paper zombie change and all that. I would say work on your Night Sisters next.
I agree.
I'm looking at his Rogue One team too. Baze and Chirrut. Chirrut is gear 2, 6 stars. Baze is 3 stars, gear 7. Those are some important pieces that you might want to start working on. The rest of Rogue One's just about dungeons, almost done. But he's got Biss and Cassian and Team 2SO. No scare for Pathfinder's not really necessary, but Chirrut and Baze kind of important to work on. If you aren't working on those, you kind of need them.
Yeah, and if you really want to run a Sith team, there is a easy counter to Bastila or whatever you guys want to call her.
You heathens.
Bastila. And that is, I hate to say it, Sith Marauder. His potency up will make it to where all your Sith's debuffs will land on her team, and then it's just a cakewalk after that.
Let's see here. So we looked at pretty much the main teams. I mean,
Spaceman Tim, where are you using your guild event tokens? Because I'm not seeing Hermit Yoda, and I'm not seeing Wampa.
Yeah, that was my next thing.
Yeah, if you're focusing on gear 12s, I would stop immediately and start working on those two characters.
You need a little green frog, and you need the fur coat.
Wampa.
Yeah, Wampa. The Hoth fur coat and the green toad of the swamp. You need both.
I put 2 videos out earlier on today. I ran a Jedi squad in Phase 2.
Okay.
Hermit Yoda, of course, bodged it and scarpered at the end of it all. When all the other Jedis died, he just left. Bye-bye. And then he joined the next squad. 6.5 million.
He says he's at 113 of 145 on Hermit Yoda right now.
Good. Yeah, all that. Trust me, I understand the pain, dude. I'm doing it on Wampa right now, and trust me, I understand the pain, brother, of needing gear 12, and you're like, no, but you've got to do it. I did Hermit Yoda, and I'm doing Wampa right now. And...
Free to play rule of thumb: aim for 1 less gear than max on all characters except Arena, and Arena you can take to gear 12.
Right.
If you start playing that gear 12 game, you are playing a whales game as a free to play, and you're going to lose.
Right.
It's just the way that it's going to end up. So you always try and focus on characters first from these stores as a free to play. Now, I've had this discussion with Grande and Loki before, and the way you play as a whale is completely different than the way you play as free to play, despite the game being the same. There's different strategies on how you gear, how you spend your crystals, how you save your crystals. I mean, there's a lot of differences. But if you're a minimal spender like a goldfish, or if you're a free to play, focus on getting teams to gear 11, arena teams to gear 12, and then only specific other teams to gear 12. Like, if your guild is really focusing on Sith Raid, you can take those characters to gear 12. If there's a character that gets a huge benefit from being gear 12, in particular Han Solo because of the bayonet, and then BB-8 because of the multi-tool, right? Certain times you want to take characters to gear 12. Other times, just leave them at gear 11 and move on, because you're going to set your roster back by going after gear 12, because you could have gotten 2 or 3 characters to gear 11 in the same time it takes you to get a character to gear 12. Not to mention the fact that guild event tokens, you want to work on your characters, because all these characters can help greatly increase your damage. So, Phase 2, I think we all have Hermit Yoda here, right?
Yes.
Did anyone know?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here. Any team that you use in Phase 2 of the Heroic Sith Raid, regardless of whether they're Gear 11 or Gear 12, your damage is so much more multiplicatively declined if you don't have Hermit Yoda. Because Hermit Yoda puts his Master's Training on them and calls for an attack. And then he puts a Master's Training on somebody else and calls for an attack. And then recovers protection if you have the Zeta on Strength Flows. And he keeps on healing anyways. And he does all these things. You can trigger him repeatedly with Akbar. You can call Wampa. You can heal up Kenobi and give him protection back. And then you put him on a team with Thrawn and you give that protection back. The kit of those characters, Hermit Yoda and Wampa, is more valuable in the Sith Raid than Gear 12ing any of the other characters on the team and trying to create a substitute. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
There's just no substitute.
He says, this is valuable information. I originally took Wampa at 5 stars and started farming Gear 12 pieces and ended up regaining it a month too later. That's Tim Timmons. Yeah, that's a good point, Tim. I'm telling you, take Hermit Yoda to 7 stars, then go work on Wampa. It's that important. So, that's a lot on his. What about his mods?
I can confirm he has mods.
Well, okay, so he's confirmed he has mods.
He's got some pretty decent mods, and most of them are on his arena team.
Good.
I definitely recommend farming some more speed set mods if you can. If you have access. Well, he's got JTR, so of course he can 3-star the speed set challenge. But yeah, I'd recommend, he's got some decent mods for now, but I definitely recommend at least taking, do one character farming for, what was it, Ranger? You'd farm him for...
It depends on how many mods you have, right? So, like, for Cantina, if you need a lot, then it was like a 4-to-3 or a 3-to-4 ratio. If you have a pretty decent amount, then it's like a 5-to-2. You want to spend like 5 days farming those characters, and then a couple days where you just go and get mods, right? With the same energy you're using for your Cantina. that way you've got the steady influx of characters and mods coming in, and you're working on like Death Trooper, things of that nature, characters that you're farming. There's no rush because you've got the main. The only time we ever change that is if you don't have JTR, you don't have some of those characters where it's like, all right, stop and go get these characters so you can get these characters, right? But you've already got them, so if it takes you another day or two to in your farm to get a Death Trooper, that's okay because you're getting mods that'll help your overall roster. So it's a little bit different in your circumstance. So I would say a 5 to 2 is perfectly what you need, Tim, for your mods.
Is he using Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter as a reinforcement? I'm just looking. He's got a 7-star Plo Koon Starfighter.
I have one.
And a gear. Oh, what is that gear number? 9. Gear 9 Plo. Oh.
I actually used Plo Koon.
Oh my God, it's a big deal.
I actually used the Plo Koon to beat the PvE missions as my first reinforcement with Geos. It actually worked out really stinking well. I was kind of surprised. Plo Koon really does help survivability of the team.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm trying to do that 5e mission. I'm at a complete loss. I've lost every kind of combination I put in there. I don't know what to do.
I mix it up.
He says yes. He uses it as a reinforcement.
Yeah, no,
good reinforcement.
I looked. I saw it. I thought that's too good a looking ship to not be being used. Nice one, mate. That is one of the best reinforcements, definitely.
So here's another little thing, and it's up to you if you want to do this. It's going to increase your GP by only about 1,500 or so per character, right? But I noticed that your characters are still level 1. I don't know how much mods you've been farming. I don't know how many mods you don't have equipped. If they're not equipped on characters, they're not going to show up on GG. So what I would suggest is level up all of your characters to level 50 and then throw mods on them. That way all of your mods show up on GG.
I agree completely.
And it's not a lot of empty GP. Like the most of like the GP that you're gonna get and that you'll consider like empty GP and like raising up your galactic power kind of falsely happens when you go well beyond level 50. And if you're not gearing them up, you're fine. So you're only gonna raise each one by about 1,000, which isn't a lot in the scheme of things when your GP is currently 2.5 million. And so looking at the number of characters that you have, it looks like maybe you have about 30 characters or so that you can take up to gear level 50. No gear, just level 50. Throw mods on them so that you can see all of your mods so you don't miss anything. And then go ahead and just equip them. You'll add only 30,000 or so GP, and that's not going to really matter in the scheme of things.
Well, also, not to mention, in the end, it opens up considerably more mod space for you to hold on to decent mods.
The only mods he doesn't have equipped are level 6 blue mods. Those can be sometimes the best, just so you know. I have found that like I forgot to equip a plus 14 speed secondary from a blue mod. That's level 6.
Yeah. I've done it before myself. I found one yesterday. I was like, what is this mod doing in inventory? Well, let's level it. And I'm like, oh, it's a 14 speed mod. And I think I found a 12, a 14, and a 13 yesterday. Just trying to find crap.
Yep. So just use them for storage. You don't have to do anything with gear. Gear is really what increases the galactic power. And then if you level beyond, I think it's above 70 is really when the galactic power starts to kick in above levels. But you only need to take them to 50 in order to unlock the mods. And then you can search for all of your mods and get more space, especially if you're doing the 5-2 mechanic and you're doing 5 days of character, 2 days of mods. You're going to start accumulating a lot of mods.
And if you
it's not too expensive either.
If you have too many mods, chromium packs. Get more teams.
Well, So mods that you can put on characters is like 950 something or 930 something, and mods that you can store in storage is only 500. So you can actually store more mods on characters than you can in your inventory. It's just kind of funny when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and don't forget, coming soon are mod loadouts. So you're going to want to have all these mods kind of easily identified and on characters ready to go so you can create those character mod sets. That'll also help you once the update comes out.
All right.
Let's see. Is there anything else he had asked for? So let's see. We talked about his Zeta, right? So his next Zeta is probably Emperor Palpatine lead, but let's go ahead and let me look at all of his Zetas so then we can see if there's anything else potentially he needs. So there we go. Okay, so he has Asajj lead. He has double Zeta BB-8.
Right.
Triple Zeta CLS.
Well, okay.
He has the lead of Nihilus.
Okay. Well,
that's
interesting.
Okay. Finn lead, Veers, double Zeta Thrawn, Han, masked Kylo, double Zeta R2, and triple Zeta Jedi Training Rey.
Wow.
Nihilus lead is fantastic against Rex lead and GK Zaris. Because if you're running Siths, you're not critting, which means that all your hits count, and you're not proccing all the taunts and everything.
Who really has trouble with that team on defense?
He's just
I love that
saying,
team.
Finn. Jesus
I know.
Christ.
Yeah, it's. I still.
Trust me, I wanted Nihilus's lead to be good. I still remember when it came out, and it looked like it was going to be good, and it flopped.
No.
Well, it was good for a time, and then people figured out that it wasn't.
Yeah.
It took a little bit of time. I bought a 5-speed mod today, and went to Sprocket. It was the top one, and nothing.
He said
I'm never buying another gold mod again. I give up.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah, he said his Nihilus lead Zeta was his first Zeta a long time ago, and that's a mistake.
That's all right. We all have one of those. I was just lucky that my Cassian actually turned out to be pretty good.
Wasn't a mistake, mate. It's a good Zeta.
It's not bad. Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not, say, Team Money First Order TIE Fighter pilot Zeta.
Okay. So if you're working on Night Sisters, you can go with the Asajj lead, right? Because you already have Asajj lead done for Phase 4, which is fine. You'll want to work on Rampage, so that's Asajj's unique, and Mother Talzin's unique, Plague Bearer. Those will be the two Zetas that you want for the Night Sister squad. But I would still say first priority would be your Emperor Palpatine lead in order to get your Sith team going, and then potentially Scion's unique. And I think your Scion was like year 10. So if you're working on, and I know you said you're farming Scion, so if you get your Scion to gear 11 and he becomes usable in Arena, I wouldn't put him in before gear 11, honestly. It'd be too much of a target.
Yeah, he's too squishy under gear 11.
Mm-hmm. So get him to gear 11, and then you can put a Zeta on his unique, and then I think you'll be good.
All right. I think we've covered this roster in depth. If you have any more questions, Mr. Tim, you know where to find us. Come to our Discord. We'll be more glad to help you out with anything that you have questions about. So that being said, I think it's time for some questions there, Dr. Finn.
Me? You mean Sanely?
No, I'm saying it's time for some questions, Dr. Finn. Sanely can still read the damn questions.
Well, I'm going to go sanely. It's time for some questions, right?
Nathaniel Miller, are there any Zetas that make a tune/team worse, i.e. less effective for certain opponents or clash with another team member's abilities?
Nihilus is one that's always had that issue with his unique. Nihilus's unique has always been one, and hey, since Grande is here, he can talk about this. I still remember when Nihilus first came out, Grande intentionally didn't Zeta Nihilus's unique because on defense it would put a debuff and force Rex in order to do his turn meter game.
That is correct. For a very, very, very long time, I did not put a Zeta on Nihilus because it meant that Rex would go with his second so versus tenacity up way back in the day before Scion. But yeah, it's important.
The Nile. Sorry.
Grande, you're breaking up again.
Domo Origato Grande Roboto.
By the way. Oh, sorry.
Finish your thought, Grande.
Yeah.
What the Nihilist lead Zeta did do was promote Tarkin lead Zeta. Because if you ran a Tarkin lead against the Nihilist lead, as soon as you hit them, they became exposed because they had zero protection.
Yeah.
It was a very quick way of cutting through Nihilist leads.
Oh, Spaceman Tim gave $10 and said thanks for the roster review, guys. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're more than
Thanks,
welcome.
Tim.
Hopefully it helps you out. You get locked and loaded and go on to.
I hope you didn't kill anyone I know.
Yeah, that's the thing about like some of the Zetas is they're double-edged swords. You know, they'll work against some teams, but against other teams, it's like, oh, I don't like that Zeta. So, but you know, I wouldn't really say that there's any that have made the tune actually worse all around, except maybe
Yes,
Stormtrooper.
there are Stormtrooper Zeta.
Yeah, Stormtrooper.
I like that.
Ski Trooper Califragilistic. Ski Trooper.
Just say Ski Trooper.
Roster review!
Yeah.
No,
Fuck that.
no, fuck that. No.
Question, what are your thoughts on the Dooku Treya team that Team Money posted? I have my Dooku 2 pieces from Gear 12 and can get him or Chopper for JTR team to Gear 12 in time for Territory War. What would you do?
It is really good for Territory Wars. It's not so good in Arena.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on where you are in Territory War. I mean, part of it is that with so many Sith and so many good abilities and some of them being pulled into like the same squads, you're trying to run a Palpatine lead and you're trying to run a Treya lead and you're trying to figure out how to split up all of your Sith. And so Dooku seems to work well in Territory Wars, but yeah, he would just be ignored in Arena because you would have too much depth and characters to attack it. I think
like right now the only spot that
Grande, you are really, really breaking up. It's like
Special guest icon on the screen.
I'm speaking slowly
So,
for your entertainment.
what we have learned is the new prison that Grande got shipped to has horrible Wi-Fi.
I was going to go a slightly different angle of the same thing. Can't he speak to the warden and say, can you move me to a better Wi-Fi spot, please?
Hey, this is your man, Grande Patron, reporting live from in the field.
From the Houston Penitentiary Department.
I'm not in the Houston Penitentiary. I'm back in my old hometown today.
You're clear now, Grande, if you want to make your point.
Yeah, I restarted the app. If all else fails, turn it off and turn it back on again. That's what my Indian Dr. IT friend always tells me.
Damn straight. Thank you, KP.
Yeah, your twin, your doppelganger, KP67. Which, by the way, for those that don't know, Finity's doppelganger is KP67. I'm not even kidding. Freaking doppelganger like hell. That's insane, by the way. For
So
anyone who doesn't
KP67s is what would happen to Finity if you went to Canada?
I am telling you, they are like they're doppelgangers. I mean, at least the first time I saw a picture of KP67, I was like, Finity! Maybe that's just me. Maybe they really don't. If I saw them side by side, they probably don't look that much alike. But in my mind, when I saw the picture, I was like, dang, Finity with glasses.
All right, so what was your point?
My point is that you are my Dr. Indian IT guy, not KP67. That's my point.
Okay.
What was the point you were making originally?
Oh, but the point I was making originally? Dooku on offense. Dooku makes so many teams on offense that I can't, even in territory wars, recommend that someone put him on defense. I mean, Dooku, here's the great thing. If you got a squad that's all kind of like turn meter funkified on territory wars, put in OG Han and Dooku under like a Rex lead with like a freaking IPD, and you could kill that team that got funkified in territory wars. You can do so many things with Dooku I think he's more valuable on another team than he is under Traya. Just my opinion.
Well, the thing with him under Traya is he keeps that entire team healed with all his counterattacks.
Right.
And like it's spam and heals all the time.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, again, it's one of these characters that you're like, do I want to put him in there? Or do I want to put him somewhere else?
I blame Finn.
And Ouchie Dumpling says, "What the F Grande? No, Dooku."
No, Dooku. I love Dooku. Dooku is.
She does not.
Dooku is amazeballs, like all the time. But
next question.
Andy was Dracula.
Mark Ranner. Question, Night Sister. I have or am farming Asajj, Daka, Initiate, Talzin, Zombie, and Talia. Which of these 6 should be on my Night Sister squad? Is Spirit... Well,
Everyone
no,
except
the
Initiate.
main Night Sister squad is Asajj Ventress, Mother Talzin, Old Daka, and Zombie. The 5th character can be swapped in for either Acolyte or Talia. My personal preference is that Talia's better. But, go figure.
For what though?
For Sith Raid, or
for Sith Raid, you 100% need Talia because the heal on her basic is what really keeps that team going. So you need Talia for that. I also have been recommending for Dark Side territory battles to put Talia instead of Acolyte because it prevents that loop that'll force you to like close your game if it's just left with Talia with Acolyte and Zombie. So use Talia over Acolyte in Dark Side territory battles if you're using the Night Sisters.
Initiate's not a good one to use because Initiate is the only Night Sister that counters. So as soon as Nihilus does something, she'll counter it, which could proc his Annihilate before you're ready for it. So I would avoid Initiate in any raid. Well, not any raid, but definitely Sith raid.
Yeah, she's a poor substitute for Zombie until it's ready. So yeah, Asajj, Daka, Talzin, Zombie, Talia.
Paul Bracamonte. Question just got posed, shipped to 7-star, and I want to put him in my lineup. Who's got to go? I'm running Chimera with Biggs, TIE Fighter Pilot, Vader reinforcement, or Vader, and then reinforcements are Boba, Fies, First Order TIE Fighter Pilot, crew, all gear 12.
First Order TIE Fighter Pilot.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that.
Darth Telewack my knacker. Question, been busy all day. Sorry, been busy day. Only night stream and shoutouts?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
We'll do little shoutouts during the lunch streams and stuff. So I'll give a shout out to what was the other name before this? Mark Rayner. Because I don't think I've seen that name before. So I think he might be new to our lunch stream. So shout out to Mark Rayner. But yeah, it's just little shout outs here, but we do the full shout outs on the night stream, which is tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Why did I say 10? 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Tim Timmons, question, am I allowed to be poopy if a Django Marquee or Legendary event doesn't happen this month?
Yes.
Yes.
Paul Morgan, question, I recently stopped farming Sith Trooper and Sith Assassin to farm First Order team. Wise decision since you need Sith Trooper with Traya.
You don't need a 7-star.
You don't need Sith Trooper with Traya. There are other characters you can put in that slot.
I don't run Sith Trooper with Traya.
Yeah, you also don't need a 7-star Sith Trooper either. So
He's so tanky.
he is.
But
I like him with Traya. Don't get me wrong, but it's not needed.
Slow. I mean, the guy's molasses.
Well,
Yeah,
that's his purpose.
Well,
But everyone procs him.
Mm-hmm.
he's good, but then you end up opening yourself to the guy that's running Thrawn Magma Trooper, laughing at your team, beating it every day.
Yeah, but he's the one that spends like 300 crystals in refreshes to get back up to have a crack at you the next day.
I auto that guy that does Thrawn Magma Trooper. I mean, auto him.
Well, you don't leave that on defense. But... Well, let me rephrase that.
No,
Smart people don't leave Thrawn Magma on defense.
Next question.
Nathaniel Morgan. Question, shouldn't Mike double Zeta Vader to solo Rancor faster / more reliably?
Nah. I've toyed with the idea a couple of times because it'll make his ship go quicker, but nah.
Have you Zeta'd his unique already?
No, my Vader is Vader. He's not Zeta'd at all.
Oh, then you definitely don't need a double Zeta. The unique Zeta on Vader does like nothing for Rancor.
Oh, I'm torn at the moment. The next Zeta is either Traya Lead, Flourish, Hermit Yoda's. It's like, which one? They're all beneficial.
I'd do Hermit Yoda's.
Traya.
See, I've got the Jody Bindu one. And I'm just thinking that combined with Hermit Yoda is going to be naughty.
I mean, I'm thinking about usability.
Thank
really.
the baby maker. I just beat this goddamn 5e mission. Ugh, finally. Achievement unlocked.
Yay! Ship and Zeta Mat. Whatever. Not Zeta Mat, is it?
It's just a normal 5e, not the hard node. But these other 3 missions is like, oh Jesus Christ.
No, 5e is a good one. That's the Mark 6 Gear 12 piece, isn't it? The purple piece.
No, that's the F, G, and H.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, F, G, and H are the purple pieces, Gear 12. The E is good too because it's the Mark V stun gun. Next question.
All Apsley. Question, if you were to field 2 Sith teams, who would you use on each team? Thank you.
Voltron.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Triumvirate is one, and Zul?
EP Vader is another one.
Or EP Vader?
Yeah, I mean, I would keep EP Vader together. Emperor Palpatine lead. You do have Maul lead also, which is interesting. The best part about the EP Vader one, though, is that you can run Empire on that one.
Yeah, that would be more of an Empire team because you could do troopers on that team, which is insanely overpowered in TW, in my opinion. And then you could do a Zal lead with the rest of Sith that still works really well in TW.
Andrew Sweeney, question, with all this talk of Dooku being good for territory wars, is his Zeta a good investment?
His Zeta is the one where he regains 10% protection every time he hits something, right? I think that's what it is.
Who's Zeta? Sorry.
Dooku's.
Yeah, it's not bad. Just you have to see how much you're using the character. I think it's a perfect Zeta for somebody like Ouchie.
Okay, yeah, it's the one where he does more damage every time he counters, gains 10% protection, and critical hit immunity for 1 turn on his counterattack.
That screams Ouchie Dumpling Zeta. I'm telling you, Ouchie, that's the Zeta you need. Right there.
Nathaniel Miller, question: favorite team in Territory War to put Womp on?
I don't have a particular team. I use them on offense with some other like scragglers and take out somebody with it. I don't have a set team for him in Territory War.
What, for TW?
Yeah. Territory War, he just kind of fits in on whatever I have left at the time because he's such a beast by himself. I don't need like a specific team around him, so I can hodgepodge into it.
I normally run him offense with Rex lead.
He does end up with Rex usually for me too. It's just not like designed that way. It just kind of happens.
But I tell you, I kind of run a competition between Death Panda in Dark Side Territory battles, who can get the most points in the 6 rounds. So slapping him as a 5th First Order is a bit of fun.
All
right. Nathaniel Miller, question: what do you think Dengar as monthly login character means? I'm hoping it means prequel bounty hunter reworks.
I'd love to see a rework of Zam and Cad Bane, please.
Jango Fett legendary.
He's not legendary though.
Oh. You just peed in my cornflakes there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he got punked by Mace Windu.
Yeah, Jango Fett legendary.
That's what. Is it wishful thinking? But it's kind of like they're all there. They're farmable now. You've already got so many bounty hunters that have been in game since day one. So we've had Greedo, we've had Boba Fett. Now we've got Dengar.
What about Embo or a Sing? They're already in the game's data files.
Jango Fett legendary.
RSG Vormax. Question: in the dev post regarding the Infinite Loop team, they also mentioned an interaction with Kira. Does anybody know what they were referring to?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's an interaction. Yeah, you recover protection under Akira lead as Enfys. So basically, you attack Enfys, she attacks, she recovers protection. She already gains additional protection from you attacking. You just keep on attacking her. It keeps on going up. She basically never loses health and never loses protection. It's not a Sith raid loop. It's an arena loop. So, yeah, it's just a different loop.
And you can do it where the contracts and payouts get screwed up too, right? One of them gives health. One of them gives health. There's another character that, like, so Impus Nest is also gaining health at one point as well. Anyway,
yeah, it's really the preparation teams. That's usually what goes with that.
Well, no, it's a preparation. I think but isn't it a combination of preparation plus the res ability?
Mm-hmm. It uses Vandor.
Vandor Chewbacca as well.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget the lubrication.
It gets a loop. Anyway, I don't know the full team. I just know some of it. But there is a video somewhere. I have to find it.
Thane Kyrell, question: why does Ranger suck at ships?
Ask your mom.
Tim
The correct
Bedard.
answer is because the Eternal Twins aren't in the game. Next question.
Why would you do that, Sam?
I even skipped an Eternal Twins question. Tim Bedard.
It doesn't
question,
matter if the dickhole Finn's going to bring it up.
Yep.
We will not let it die.
Tim Bedard, question, why does Thane troll Ranger so much? Is there some history there I don't know about?
The Eternal Twins aren't in the game.
Yeah.
Can I just say, just for a point,
Well, maybe Thane and Ranger are the Eternal Twins. Because they were always fighting.
No. Well, I'm just going to put this out there right now. The twins from the Matrix are cooler than the Eternal Twins. Just saying. Next question.
Chewy, question, which Zeta should you do for Wampa? And what's the best team to utilize Wampa in a lineup?
Cornered Beast is the one that you need. Furious Foe is good. If you're using him in Arena, a lot of people don't use him in Arena though. So Furious Foe is usually the one that, a Cornered Beast is usually the one to go with first. In terms of what to use him with, you can use him in pretty much any team. He counterattacks, he deals damage, he increases his damage once you can get off his shout. He's a good plug and play on any team that really needs a big surviving damage dealer. Him and Enfys serve that purpose really well. Enfys is faster though, and Wampa's a little bit slower and tankier, so just depends what you need.
Yeah, the most known team is the Mother Wampa team.
Wampa?
Next question.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Morgan, question, should I develop GR ships? My mace is gear 11 and had maxed abilities before ships 2.0. Problem is GR characters suck except for Rex. Primarily for territory wars or even a change of pace in arena.
Well, if you have like the Geos done, I'd say sure, because the timeout team still works in TW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really just depends on what you want to do. Because, you don't want to focus on Galactic Republic if you're not planning on running them. So focus on whatever you want to run. I like Galactic Republic. We've had this discussion. There's different views as to where Mace's capital ship works, but I like Mace's capital ship as I think is the best territory war defense team. So, I think working on them is smart if you're able to focus just on pilots without needing to focus on characters for arena, focus on characters for territory wars, focus on characters for heroic Sith raid, whatever it is. If your focus is only like ships, then yeah, go for it.
Okay, we got one from Tits McVenom. Question, I bought an oversized flamingo floaty. Can I lounge at your pool for a month or so, Grande?
What? What was that?
Tits McVenom bought an oversized flamingo floaty and wants to lounge at your pool for a month or so.
How does she know I have a pool?
I don't know.
I do have a pool.
Would she not be?
You sent a picture, Grande.
Yeah, come on, girl. You can. Oh, that's right. In RSG admin chat, I sent a picture of. We're not buying that house anymore. Now we're buying another house. But anyway, yes, we do have a swimming pool, and yes, you can come hang out and lounge in the pool. It'll be great.
Follow-up question: can Loki come and stare at tits?
Yes.
Well, he can do that anywhere.
Loki could come as well and stare at tits.
Wouldn't she be a bit kind of self-conscious about all the other inmates looking though?
Well, contrary to popular belief, I do not live at the penitentiary. I'm not moving. I'm moving to Houston, not Huntsville.
Oh, house arrest. Okay.
But yes, she could come hang out.
Oh,
hey, we have a really nice guest bedroom now with its own ensuite bathroom. It'll be great. Come on down.
I don't know why. I can just picture right now Loki just sitting by the pool staring at his Grandes like, come on, the water is fine. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just listening. I'm just watching. And I love Loki. He is way too chill. All right, next question.
Epic Haas question: do you feel like Dengar being a login tune is just a distraction from the fact that we just got a bunch of Old Republic stuff? So they could say, surprise, mother effer, here's Revan.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that one.
It's probably not going to be Revan, but think of the timings more than just when they just release things, right? Because there's a 6 weeks cadence roughly before anything becomes free to play. And they don't usually release the legendary events until things are going free to play. So who is recently going free to play? It is the bounty hunters. Yep. So we had the solo tunes, and then Bosk just went, right? So Bosk was last month, and then we also had the solo tunes. So it wouldn't surprise me if this month there is something bounty hunter related, which we can kind of guess with Dengar, right?
Or
next
Scoundrel.
Week, yep, Scoundrel could be end of this month, early next month, because that would fit in with the timing. So you want to be ready for that, and then maybe the month after that, which we're then looking in October. October could be a Old Republic month where we get a Malik. So they usually do things in a timed fashion, and most of it is related to when they get released into free-to-play, not when they came out. So yeah, so I think last month's release were Bosk and the solo tunes, right, into free-to-play?
Yeah, it was Young Han and
Young Han and Chewie. And I think Bosk was at the start of the month, right?
Yeah. The next one should be Lando and L3, right?
And the Millennium Falcon. Okay.
And the Aluminum Falcon.
Yeah, Aluminum Falcon.
What about what about Kira?
Yeah, Kira too.
Oh yeah.
Kira and Emphis came first, right? So Emphis and Kira will probably be first. And then Lando and L3 and the Millennium Falcon.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
Thane Kyrell question: what is the best Night Sister team under Asajj that doesn't have Talzin?
One with Threxen and Akan.
You just probably replace Acolyte in there, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Acolyte.
So Asajj, Lee, Talia, Daka, Acolyte, and Zombie.
Yeah. Oh, if you've got Spirit.
Yeah.
But then, but I'm assuming you wouldn't have Spirit if you don't have Talzin.
Well, potentially it's because you gave it in platoons or something too.
Yeah. I always forget that. Like Death Trooper. I never get to use Death Trooper.
I never use Death Trooper.
No, Magma.
Yeah, he's always gone.
Yeah, I hate that.
As is Shore Trooper.
Howdy, Cyberbully. He said greeting.
Cyberbully?
Yep, Cyberbully 42W.
We don't like cyberbullies.
Yeah, we might like this one. He's saying greeting, fellas, so he's a very friendly cyberbully.
He's a friendly cyberbully, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
That's ironic. Chewie, question: Jabba the Hutt legendary?
No.
Oh.
No way! We're not getting Jabba the Hutt.
No.
Come on now. You can tag that and keep it for when I'm wrong, but we're not getting Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, we get him the same month as Jar Jar.
Cyberbully 42W. What are the best ships to farm for a new player / re-rolled player?
Ooh, interesting.
If you're just starting, go with the Geos.
No.
God, no.
No.
What? They're easy to get compared to the other ones.
Yeah, you're working on the worst characters as a new player.
If you're just starting, go Akbar and Rebels.
Yeah. Biggs is like the easiest character to 7-star. Yeah.
Phoenix. You gotta go Phoenix. and you got to go Rebels. I mean, you got to get Biggs. You got to get, Ghost and Phantom. And then you got to get.
You can get TIE Advanced because you'll probably. It seems like people are getting their 7-star Vader, so you can get your TIE Advanced in there.
Silencer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a beautiful. That's the best farm in the game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a double jump every freaking day. Silencer is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like constant double drops.
Yeah. God, don't start with Geos. Geos are a late game ship. They're awesome in ships, but they're definitely a late game ship because Geo Spy sucks. Geonosian Soldier sucks, and Sunfac it's a decent tank but limited uses.
yeah. Geonosian Soldier, frickin' Sunfac is kind of like meh. I mean, I don't even think I used Geonosian Soldier. I mean, I don't even think I used Sunfac anywhere else in the game. I don't use Geospy ever at all. I haven't friggin' Gear 11 and Gear 12 with all the Omegas, and unless it's like under a Dengar lead, and I'm going up against Phoenix, it's never gonna work. I mean, not Dengar lead, Gar Saxton lead. Yeah, it's never gonna work.
I didn't
All right, that's all the
under
questions.
door lead.
Hey, perfect timing, 1 o'clock.
Boot.
All right. So that is our show. If you would like a roster review, just get with Finn in Discord and link your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.gg page, and we can put you in the queue. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, guys. It really does help us grow. If you'd like to just keep putting out this content, then please support us in that way. If you'd like to support us in other ways, you can go to our Patreon and support us through our Patreon as well. We have our big show coming up tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we will break down the latest and greatest of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, with all the latest news and notes to tell you what it all means. I think after this, Van wants to do a Battlefront 2 stream, so we'll do a Battlefront 2 stream after this for you guys, since we didn't do one yesterday, so I'll get with him afterwards. So kind of be on the lookout for that. Remember, we do the lunch stream Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. You're always more than glad to check us out live. If you can't check us out live, you can download us at the iTunes Store. Go back and listen to us on YouTube Red. See all the chat and see all the madness that ensues. So thank you everybody for being here. We got some more streams coming up for you. Anything big on the people are saying? When's Finn doing another video? Finn, when are you doing another video?
Soon, TM.
So that's going to be Friday.
We'll see. There is some stuff in the works, but I don't know if a video will be ready this week. Just putting it out there. I'm going to try, but I don't know if a video will be this week, but possibly early next week. I'm talking with a few people about some content that hopefully you guys will like.
Mm-hmm. So I think that covers everything. Thanks to Grim, Sanely, The Big Deal, the Cheese Eater, and of course Dr. Finn Medicine Woman for being here. Thank you all for being in the chat. We really appreciate it. So on behalf of myself and the crew, thank you for stopping by, and we will check out tonight and tomorrow. Peace.